Hey, what's up, everyone? It's the Crypto Coach, Blockchain Wayne. Wanted to do a quick video just to show you a little bit about what some people may call the Coinbase pump. Now, we saw it just recently on Coinbase with the listing of OMG or Omi's Go, and it's not something that happens every time. So I'm going to show you a little bit of the history of it, but then also a reason why is it? Is it just because they added it to Coinbase that it's causing a crypto to pump? Or is there more to it? And I'm going to show you a little bit more insight as to why I think it's happening, and we can go from there. So let's take a look at the screen real quick. You can see here, this is the chart of what happened. You can see right around here was the announcement of being added to Coinbase Pro. And then somewhere right around here was the actual listing of Coinbase or adding support to the Coinbase Pro platform. Hey, what's up, Janos? And then the ensuing pump, which got all the way over $2, now sitting around $1.69. And there's some things you need to be aware of and also look out for, because the last thing you want to be is one of the people that's buying up here. Let's face it, if you're selling up here, other people are buying, but you want to be on the selling end of this and not the buying end of this. And some people would chase these green candles and end up upside down, or maybe they bought around here and now they're sitting upside down. So a couple of things to watch on Coinbase. Let's talk about the pump itself. So you can see, I tell a lot of people, follow the Coinbase blog. Now, Coinbase and their CEO are not very big on mainstream media, so you won't see a lot of other news sources reporting their listings. But if you follow the Coinbase blog, you can see that they typically announce when they're going to list the coins. And I'll show you. See, Orchid, Tezos, Basic Attention Token, Stellar, EOS, and some other ones, Dash, Chainlink, Cosmos, ZRX, right? So all of those are shared by Coinbase whenever they're going to launch it. So on Tuesday, May 19th, trading begins. So May 14th was when they published this article. So we can go back to there. Let's see, May 14th was right here. Okay, so look what happened. The listing happened. We saw a big jump in price, and then we saw a lot of heavy trading. And I'm going to show you why these gaps in trading happen, but it's not an all the time thing. That's what I want you to realize. This is something that each time it's a gamble, because it hasn't always been a pump right after, but you also got to have a strategy to get in, get out. So many of you may not realize, so I got in on this, right? But I got out at $1.50. It hit $1.60 right here and then retraced. And this is right actually on this candle is where I got out of that trade. Now, obviously, you know, a 60% gain on a trade is not bad at all, and I'll take that anytime. Yeah, I could have tried to ride it to the top, but you never know when that's going to be. So have a strategy in place and be prepared to take some profit if something like that happens. So that was a listing, right? So we go back to the last one. Let's look at Orchid. Now, Orchid doesn't have a lot of trading history prior to Coinbase. So there wasn't many other exchanges I can go to show you. Like Omi's Go, I can show you was on Binance, because that's where I originally bought it before the listing on Coinbase, and then was able to trade it after it hit Coinbase. But Orchid was a little different, but you can see kind of the same thing when I pull up the Orchid chart. We'll pull it up on Coinbase. And let's go back. So this is the beginning of trading history on Orchid. This is when it was added, right? We saw an immediate dump right away, but then a pump. And this is kind of where I got into this one, right around 20 cents. And you saw that when it pumped all the way at the top. Oh, let me show that. You know, over 70 cents. So in this particular one, I was able to get in and get out at about 60 cents. And you can see, now, do I like Orchid? Absolutely. And if you look at this chart from the time it got added to Coinbase Pro, it looks like it's just a dead dog, right? But it's not. It's got great future. It's got great use case. I really like what they're solving with their token. But at the same time, this pump was not sustainable and it had to correct. And if you go back to some of the lesser exchanges that were trading it, it was trading around this time. So you've got a slow organic growth with this massive spike that's just an anomaly. It's almost like the spike in Bitcoin and other cryptos at the peak of at the end of 2017. That's an anomaly. That's a lot of hype and speculation, and it happened in a very short period of time. But look at the long-term trend and you can see where things are going. But if you're looking to pull out a quick profit, you can have a strategy with that, with the Coinbase pump when it happens. It doesn't always happen. You look at Tezos here. Tezos was added, you know, July 30th when they announced it, and August 5th was when it started. So if I go to Aurochs and I'm going to pull up, let's see what we have. Tezos. Let's see. You can look at Tezos here, and you can see. All right, so Tezos was added back around here was the announcement that it was being added to Coinbase, and then the ensuing pump. And it actually didn't last long before it corrected on Coinbase, because a lot of people had got in other places and rode this pump. But you see it went all the way from $1 all the way up to, you know, around $1 at the peak, $1.69. So there's an opportunity, but say you jump in those with everyone that plan to take 30 to 50% profit. Now that's huge, but you also have to mitigate risk because it doesn't always happen. You can see some of the other ones, like I mentioned, they launched Basic Attention Token back in November. That one wasn't really trading much, but also look at the time when that happened. And that was when we were in a bottoming trend. So if I pull up the Basic Attention Token, it's not going to be the same thing. Now, if you were trading against Bitcoin instead of the US dollar, you could have picked up some Satoshis, but that's not always the case. Stellar Lumens. Let's look at 0x, because 0x was all the way back in October of 2018, and that one was the same thing. But let's look at Chainlink. So Chainlink was June 26, and we're going to go to Chainlink here. And you can see here, this was around the time, this was the announcement right here, and look what happened shortly after. So you got to watch these blogs every day because you can get in and get a profit. Now, if you stayed in Chainlink long term, you're doing okay. But at the same time, you can turn this into a quick profit if you're able to see where it goes from, you know, right at announcement time, call it $1.85, and peaked all the way at 447, right? So those are huge opportunities to get in and get out, but you have to watch the Coinbase blog, and it's not always going to be the case. The reason being, I think what's going on in the market, if the overall market is bearish and not a lot of people are buying, you're not going to see as much of a pump. If it doesn't seem to be that much of a value, you're not going to see that much of a pump. Now, I saw Dash did a little bit similar back like September 2019. So let's pull up the Dash chart. But also you're talking initially, let's see, Dash was, where is it? September 2019. Thing with Dash is it was already in a downtrend. And what you see here is Dash is sitting around, you know, sitting around still around $80 whenever it was added to Coinbase Pro. So you didn't see that big pump. And part of that reason, and I hate to say it, but there's a lot of retail traders within Coinbase that don't know much about crypto, that you can buy a fraction of a crypto. So they look at a crypto like, say, Omi's Go, which was just added. Hey, it was under $1 when it got added to Coinbase. Well, I can buy a bunch of those versus Dash is sitting at $80. I can't buy as many. So it may sound silly, but people that don't understand crypto that are buying crypto are in this case, they didn't buy it. So it continued in that downtrend, which was an organic downtrend. Now, eventually it bounced back, but it didn't, the Coinbase listing didn't affect it because of the price. And the other thing that could be pumping because of Coinbase is Coinbase has two different platforms. They have Coinbase Pro, which is a trading platform, and then the Coinbase.com, which is your regular retail platform. There's usually a slight price discrepancy in there where Coinbase retail platform is slightly higher. Here's the other thing. On the retail platform, you can't set stops or limit orders. Your options on there are either to buy or to sell. So what happens is Omi's Go gets added, it starts pumping, then it gets added to the retail platform after being added to Pro. So your traders have already gotten in, and then retail buyers see it and they just start buying. And what happens when you don't have a lot of sell orders and you have a lot of buy orders? The price pumps. And that's what happened. The price pumped, and then your traders that knew what they were doing got out because they realized no matter how good or bad the technology may be with Omi's Go, it's going to drop. Like, it's not a sustainable pump. and it's going to come back down, as you saw happen when we pulled up the Omis Go chart, and what we're watching play out right now, just because they can't sustain itself. So let's pull it up here, and let's see. You can see this here. We're starting to see it come back down. So that's the Coinbase pump. So let's just show you. So if I go to Coinbase.com here, just to show you real quick, it's showing Bitcoin at 89.31. And let's go to pro.coinbase.com. And let's just view markets without logging in. $89.28. Not a big difference right here, but a lot of times there's a big discrepancy between the two, because within Coinbase Pro, you can set to buy when it hits a certain price, drops to a certain price, or when it triggers a stop, which you want to get out, versus on the retail platform here, here you can only buy and sell. That's your only options within Coinbase. So having that retail platform also on top of their trading platform, it could fill a lot of buy orders. And I'm not sure how it works in the background, but that could lead to what's called the Coinbase pump. So keep an eye on the blog. If it looks to be a lucrative crypto that you may want to, try to earn a good profit on, get in, but also set a limit price to where I wasn't even watching it when it happened. I was like, okay, at this point is when I'm going to be ready to take profit. And I kept raising it up as it went up. And then whenever it hit that point, then, it triggered to sell, and I took out the profit. But always mitigate your risk on those. It's not always going to be the case. If the overall market isn't a big downtrend, then you may not see that happen. And as much as I hate to say it, if it's a higher price crypto per unit, like like Dash, like I showed you, it may not generate a pump on regular Coinbase because people are going to think it's too expensive for them to buy. People are in that mindset of penny stocks and cheap stocks, and they think crypto is the same, so they don't pump it, right? And in the long term, that's not a bad thing, but it just shows you how the market can be not necessarily manipulated by any person, but by overall ignorant mindset of people that you can benefit from if you get on the right side of it. If you don't get on the right side of it, there's also people sitting there that bought Omis Go over $2 because they were chasing a pump. They were letting their emotion dictate what they were doing, and they had a FOMO, fear of missing out, and they tried to buy it at the top, and now they're sitting upside down in their investment. And those people are saying, I lost money because I bought crypto. No, you didn't lose money because you bought crypto. You lost money because you bought at the wrong time. It's all about timing of when you get in and get out. Now, am I going to get back into Omis Go? Absolutely. I'm going to wait for it to go a little bit down further, and then I'm probably going to get back in it for a little while to make a few more trades with it. But that's just an explanation of what you may hear, the Coinbase pump, what happens, what could cause it. It's a combination of just the hype, and then also people buying on the retail platform, which is driving prices up on the trading platform. So just get on the right side of that and you can cash out. So that's all for the Coinbase pump. Just wanted to kind of share a little bit of explanation as to why that can happen. It's not guaranteed. It doesn't happen all the time. I showed you a bunch of them, up top that were added, and not all of them happened. Chainlink had happened. Cosmos had happened. 0x, it didn't really happen. EOS, it didn't really happen. So there's a bunch of different ones. And one of the things, if you want to go back and see it, just go in the Coinbase blog and do a search in the word launching. And every time they've launched a new cryptocurrency, you can see it on there. And every time that's happened, it's generated more trading volume, but it doesn't always necessarily equate to trading price. But if you get in on the right ones, you could benefit from a quick short-term trade. So that's it, everybody. Hopefully this was helpful, and I'll see you all later.